we were like, so what is the antidote to Nightshade? And I Googled it, and turns out it's like 5,000 letters long, and that doesn't really fit on a hood. So it's Gungnir.
Got it. Okay, so that makes sense to me now. So what about Nightshade? Tell us a little bit about I mean, I know because I've seen her, but tell the listeners.
She's murdered out, all black wheels, black everything. We finally decided to kind of embrace a little bit of color, and I have a little bit of silver accents now.
Hi, I'm Amanda with Suntop USA, where we pride ourselves on creating the ultimate soft top for your adventures. And I'll be your host on this episode of Chic Chat. Chic Chat is the place where we celebrate the perfect fusion of style and adventure. Jeeps have long been synonymous with ruggedness, freedom, and the spirit of adventure. And who says women can't embrace all of that and more? I'm excited for today's guest, who is a good friend of mine, and I can't wait to welcome her to the show, Cassie. Cassie fell into off-roading shortly after buying her Jeep. She took her Jeep out with no expectations and with the paper tags on it, and had a fabulous time and hasn't stopped yet. Cassie has a passion for organizing charity events such as wheeling with vets and teaching off-road classes to ladies. She loves to watch ladies' confidence grow on the trail and share her experience with those looking to learn.
Thank you.
Cassie, welcome to Chic Chat. We're excited to have you. I'm especially excited because we're friends, and I'm sure we will have lots of shenanigans on here for people to laugh and have a good time with.
Goofy face counter.
And especially, we'll get to this at the end of the show, but since we both just came back from EJS and did some awesome wheeling, we'll have lots of good stuff to talk about. So let's start off. In your intro, I read about you got your Jeep and you took it out wheeling with the paper tags on it.
Sure did.
So how did that start? How did you fall in love with Jeeps?
I had always wanted one. Always thought they were awesome. I finally got to the point in my life where kids were getting older and it wasn't important to have that third row anymore. And I could finally get a car for me. And so I was like, okay, it's time. We're doing this. And we went and we found one that someone had traded in at a BMW dealership. Dane thought that I was going to be your typical girly mall crawler duck collector. And we had a friend who has been going to Eastern Jeep Safari for, I think, at least 15 years now, who was like, do you think she wants to off-road? And Dane's like, not real sure. I'm like, let's go try it. I'm down. Like, maybe I'll love it. Maybe I won't. Whatever. So the Jeep still had paper tags. We rode it out to Barnwell. Barnwell's like 30 minutes from where we live. I got addicted instantly, and it has not stopped since then. So my poor little mall crawler is slowly becoming a rock climber, and I'm trying to learn as well as her. It's been, I think I'm surprised.
I love it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Even, when we were out at EJS, Micah mentioned as you were going up a trail, he said, I am surprised every time I wheel with Cassie on how little instruction or spotting she requires on the trail. She just goes. So, and also the fact that you said you bought your Jeep used from a BMW lot, that's where mine came from too. Somebody traded it in for a BMW. So I think that's the best way to start. So tell us about the Jeep. Does it have a name?
Mm-hmm. Her name is Nightshade. No fun story behind it. I was just like, okay, she's a black Jeep. We're always going to have black. She's going to be murdered out forever. What's a cool name for a black Jeep? It was Black Betty for about 5 seconds until I realized there was like 5,000 other Black Bettys. And then when Dane he bought a Jeep about 2 years ago, my husband, we decided, like, what would we name him? And we were like, so what is the antidote to Nightshade? And I Googled it, and turns out it's like 5,000 letters long, and that doesn't really fit on a hood. So it's Gungnir.
Got it. Okay, so that makes sense to me now. So what about Nightshade? Tell us a little bit about I mean, I know because I've seen her, but tell the listeners.
She's murdered out, all black, black wheels, black everything. We finally decided to kind of embrace a little bit of color and have a little bit of silver accents now. She's a 2020. We're rolling on some Yukon 488 gears, locked front and rear with ARB air lockers, rolling our Adams drive shaft front and back heavy duty, 37-inch tires, PRP seats, onboard air, Apex chassis steering. I mean, I'm coming to the end of my able to upgrade axle list. I'm still rolling on the stock 30, 35 axles. And so I've kind of hit my limit of what I can do as far as modifications on the outside. So now we're trying to turn our attention to the inside with the seats and harness bars coming in for my harnesses and upgrading some sound system situations and just making her my dream car.
I love it. Well, I bet the axles haven't held you back so far because I've seen you wheel the mess out of that Jeep.
My theory is we're going to run it until we break it and then forced upgrades because you can't tell me no when I break something. So,
right? You got to drive it, right? So.
That's how we ended up with the gears and the lockers in the first place. So everybody tells me, don't tell that story. But I think it's funny, so I'm going to keep telling it. My gears gave up the ghost on Linda Gale at Barnwell. So
on Linda Gale?
Yeah. The easiest course out there.
Yeah. So for the listeners that don't know, Barnwell Mountain Recreation Area is here in East Texas, in the East Texas Piney Woods. It's beautiful. There's lots of challenging stuff out there. Linda Gale is not it.
Nope, it's not. It's like the driveway to your grandma's house.
Yeah. So of all the places, but I mean, I guess that's an easy place to be towed out of if we're going to look at positives.
Yes, for sure.
So part of what I love about you and how our friendship is developed is through events. I've actually been to a couple of events that you've hosted. You have a knack for it. And I know that you really love teaching and sharing the passion with others. So tell me about that. Tell us about, what drives you to want to organize these events and, what sparks your passion for it.
I'm always how can I help? We're going to help kind of girl. So anytime there's any mention of any event, I'm like, what are we doing? How are we doing it? How can I help? So our local Jeep group here in East Texas, we host an event every year called Wheeling with Vets, where we take out any veteran who has ever served any amount of years in any branch, and we take them for a fun off-road day. So we do that, and we raise money for Combat Warriors of East Texas. We do that one. I've also hosted a Go Topless event down here at Barnwell, where we raised money for Wheelers for the Wounded. They provide service animals for veterans who have, maybe PTSD issues, or they have some sort of physical issue, or any sort of anything where they need a support animal. They will provide the veterans with a dog who is fully trained. So our last event out there, we raised money to fully train a dog who went to a veteran. I've hosted several 101 events. Those have my heart because those are usually for ladies who have no experience wheeling. And I know as well as you do, girls in the off-road industry, we're not super well received sometimes, or sometimes we're received with the, I know and you don't kind of attitude. So I love sharing off-road skills and teaching girls how to off-road, because I had a very patient guy who came beside me and was like, okay, if you want to do this, let me show you. But not every girl has ran into that. Some egos get in the way. And so I love watching women show up to learn who have never put their Jeep in four-wheel drive before. They have no idea what a sway bar is and why they need to disconnect it. what's this button that says locker on it? I love teaching that kind of stuff. And it's so much fun for me to watch them go from super timid to like, oh my gosh, I can do this. When are we going next? That drives me. And that is so much fun for me. And I can't get enough of that.
Yes, I love it too. And that's something that Wendy and I have talked about on episodes, in the past too, just we have that passion for teaching and for seeing other ladies flourish, and you see their passion grow, and then you see them come back for the next event and they do something a little harder, and then the next event and they do something a little harder. And the next thing they're out there just killing the tough trails. And I absolutely love that. And I love
cool.
that the Jeep community just totally surrounds these charity events and is there to jump right in and participate and raise money for all these good causes. Because I know from being at these events that you're talking about, the turnout was fantastic. It blew me away, to see that many people out there.
Social media is a powerful thing.
It really is. It really is. In this community, it really, I say it's a positive thing that's brought lots of us together. So talking about the 101 and seeing ladies get out there on the trail, what would be some advice you would offer to a lady that just bought her Jeep and maybe she's looking to go off-road for the first time? What would be a piece of advice you wish somebody would have shared with you?
Don't be scared. It takes a whole lot more to break them than you think it does.
You prove that damn near every time I see you on the trail.
Pretty much. I mean, my biggest break so far has been an axle shaft. And that's a cheap replacement. So if I can't break it, you're probably not going to break it. Go with people you trust. Go with people that are caring and, have the same mindset that you do. There's a lot of girls that I've met who are like, I can't do this. I don't want to go out there and tear my stuff up. This is my daily. I have to take my kids to school in it. I'm like, okay, cool.
Where would you find that group that you trust? Did you find it on Facebook? Did you find it on Instagram? How did you get connected with your local off-road community?
Facebook has been the biggest help. Like I said, social media is a powerful tool. Facebook groups have been where we have found the most people that we want to go wheel with. It's hard to find people who are like-minded. There's those people that want to go out there and just give it the beans every single time. And while that's some people's jam, that's not really my jam. Yes, I'll tear stuff up, and yes, I'll try things that maybe I shouldn't. But there's a time and a place. I say I want to give everything 3 tries. If I can't get it after 3 tries, then okay, we'll try your way, or we'll winch it or whatever. But I want my 3 tries first.
Yeah, I think 3 tries is a good rule. And it keeps the trails moving. I know this week at EJS, I saw a few folks giving it way more than 3 tries with a ton of people waiting. So anyway, we'll get to that. Okay, so we talk about, advice you would give as far as going out. Let's talk about advice to a new lady wheeler or a lady that just bought her Jeep and she wants to maybe change some stuff up to make it a little bit more capable. Yes. What advice would you give there?
Trying to think.
Especially for those that it's their daily driver, because I think that's most people can relate to that.
Right.
They still have to drive it, to work every day, to the carpool line.
Exactly. And maybe for everybody, a 6-inch lift ain't it, But I think that a good daily build is probably, you have a moderate lift. You have some slightly aggressive, but maybe not 42-inch tires. You know what I mean? Is that the goal? Absolutely. But that's not really the everyday vehicle. Like when I started out with building ours, I had literally 33-inch tires and 1.5 inches of lift. That's an okay daily driver. Like the first time we went out to Barnwell, I had absolutely nothing. Like a completely stock Jeep is completely capable of more than you think it is,
Way more.
Oh yeah.
And
get myself in trouble.
I know that's right. Ask me how I know. So, and I mean, I think you learn that way. Like if you wheel it stock and then you grow a little and then you wheel it some more. I mean, is that kind of how you evolved to where you're at now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I feel like that is a great place to start learning because when we bought my Jeep, it was just a plain base sport Jeep. Like it's still the 30-35 axles. It had no lockers. It had 33-inch tires the first time I took it out, you know. But I think that also makes you a better wheeler because I wheeled for probably a good year, year and a half, almost 2 years with no lockers. And so it's a good way to kind of learn the limits of your vehicle and of your driving because there's times still where I'm like, even at EJS last week, I was like, hey, I want to try this without my lockers just to see if I can. I think it just makes you a better driver and you learn more skills and you kind of have to push yourself to learn those skills. You know, that way when you do better equip your Jeep, you get the lockers, you get the bigger tires, you upgrade the axles, you already have that foundation laid for your skills to be able to use all those, you know, upgraded equipment. Is that necessary for everybody? Absolutely not. But, you know, when we're getting to the point of the things that me and you like to climb, it kind of becomes more of a necessity for us.
Absolutely. And you're 100% right because it just takes those tools to the next level when you
Mhm.
learn to do it without the tools. So,
And if you can,
okay. So, right. So, I already know this answer, but for the listeners, if you had to choose between wheeling mud or wheeling rocks, what's your choice?
rocks. I, I, for the longest time, thought, oh my gosh, I want to go through all the mud. I even have like the first time me and Dane went out by ourselves to an off road park. That was, don't go by yourself. Always take somebody with you because you never know. But our very first time that we went out of town by ourselves together, there was this huge mud puddle. And I'm trying to video for Instagram, and I'm like, you didn't hit it fast enough. Go hit it again, you know? And I did that for a while thinking that that was part of it. If you didn't get muddy, you weren't doing it right, you know? But laying underneath my Jeep for 2 hours with a Brillo pad trying to get all the dried up mud off of my undercarriage has taught me that no, we can climb some rocks. Let's stay away from the mud. I actually go around the mud now.
Yes, absolutely. It's such a mess. And I've seen way more people break stuff in mud than I have on rocks, to be
Oh,
honest. So,
1,000%. And don't
yeah.
talk to me about the chocolate milk it makes in your diff.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
No, what a mess. What a mess. So, what is for our listeners here that know Barnwell Mountain Recreation Area? It's the closest to both of our houses, and it's even though sometimes we're like, we've been to Barnwell a million times.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring. It's like my foundation. It's where I learned to wheel.
Yes.
What is your favorite trail at Barnwell?
Mm. This is the most random choice, and it's probably one of the shortest ones out there, but it's the one that I feel like you can test the most skills on, and it's Binder Boulevard. And not a lot of people realize it's there, and
I love that.
not a people
I
love it.
love it.
Yeah, but it's got this crazy like off camber drop in where I feel like you could get really good at learning like drop ins. You can figure out that off camber situation. You can see where your limits of your bumpers are because you're going to get a smack on the booty every time. But I love that one. I don't know why. I just, every time I'm out there.
Hey, it's in my top 3 for
Yeah.
sure. It's in my top 3. So I love I love JP Expressway, even though last time I went, it was like so dug out and it was a hot mess. And it was more time winching than we did actually going up the trail. But it has my heart because I tackled it, on 35s with open diffs, the difficult line. And so I still, hold on to that victory.
Yes.
And I love Spider Ravine.
Yes, I do too.
So.
There's a lot of great trails out there, really. But like you said, it's so close to us that it's kind of become like, okay, it's Barnwell, But
Yeah.
it's still Barnwell. It's still close. I can get there in 35 minutes. So you want to go ride? Give me 35 minutes, you know?
Yeah. And it's a great time and it's a beautiful place
It
too.
is.
So I know they're having a big event there this weekend too. And I'm kind
They
of
are.
thinking about, should I sneak out there or should I be responsible and do all the housework I didn't do while I was gone to EJS? Cassie, let's go to Barnwell.
Hey, I heard the entrance fees are going to be deeply discounted this weekend, so it's supposed to be less than the $15.
Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
they're doing it out there.
No.
I love it. All right, so we've hinted a little bit about EJS because we both just came back from EJS, and I was going to ask you what your favorite trail in general was, and I'm guessing it might be in Moab, but maybe I'm wrong. So tell me, what is Cassie's favorite trail that she's ever put tires on so far?
The guys were asking me this all week. Dane and my husband went with us, and they rode with us every day. Golly, it's a hard one because I loved Moab Rim, but I hated Moab Rim. That first part going up and hugging the rocks and like looking down to certain death. That was awesome. But it was also like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. But you know what? I really loved Hills too. I really loved the little car washes. I really loved the Dane's gonna tell me I said it wrong, the escalator. Gosh. And I feel like I have to say Golden Spike too, because we ended up doing it like 3 times. But we did Metal Masher too, but it wasn't super my favorite. I don't feel like there was a lot of challenging areas on that. So it's probably going to be a tie between Moab Rim and Hills Revenge, I think.
Good choices.
It's hard to pick a
Good
favorite.
choices.
It's like trying to pick your favorite kid. They both have good qualities.
Right.
And that's a tough
Right.
one. What was your favorite?
So if we're going with favorite trails just in general that I've ever wheeled, it's going to be Holy Cross in Colorado.
Yeah.
It's just something about the beauty there, and it's as challenging as you want to make it. I mean, it's challenging in general, but you can just like amp it up and make it just crazy. And it's just the most beautiful views in the mountains, and it's my jam, 100%.
Yes.
I love Moab. I love Poison Spider, Golden Spike, and Gold Bar Rim. I love those trails. We spending the whole day out there. It's great. Yes. The pick for a short trail in Moab, the Pickle, loved that trail. Absolutely loved it. Great time.
You did it. There's next year.
I know, right? I still have like an ongoing list of trails that I want to do in Moab. That it's just something happens like with EJS, they're closed some days for the different runs and the events. Yes. So sometimes you just can't make it work.
That was the hardest part, I think. It was like, okay, which one are we not using?
What was your favorite part of the event? What did you love about it?
I like getting to see all my friends. It was so much fun being able to.
I know, right? I had to have like this whole spreadsheet situation going.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And like, I am not there, y'all. I am not there. I am not popular by no means. I am not anybody to be like, oh my God, go follow her. But there was like 3 or 4 people that came running up that I have been friends with on Instagram for years, that came running up going, oh my gosh, I finally get to meet you. And I think that was probably the most fun part, is finally getting to connect with those people in person and getting to put a face with the pictures and getting the hug around the neck. I think that was probably my most favorite part. I love the trails. I loved hanging out with everybody, but actually getting to like finally talk to and see these people in person that you've been connected with for years over social media, that was the most fun part.
Oh, 100%. It's amazing, that we have these relationships that we build on social media, and then when you finally get to meet them in person. So I 100% agree. I got to meet so many people in person that I've known online. And I joked with Micah and I was like, I feel like this is my Hollywood because I don't really watch TV. I'm a big fan of YouTube and you know, I have all my favorite channels that I watch, and I got to, you know, see and meet so many people from the different channels and have all my fangirl moments. And I'm thankful for all of them for being good sports. When I ran up to them, like, hello, I can't wait to meet you, you know, so.
Poor Dennis at Terraflex. Oh my gosh. He was doing an interview, and when we walked up to his booth and there was a guy standing there, and I was like, oh, it's Dennis. And the guy was standing there and was like, are you okay? And I'm like, it's Dennis. Do you think that I like can go get a selfie with him? And he was like, please do. He's like, 'cause the last event we were at, some lady came running up and was like, oh, it's Dennis from Terraflex. And his face turned beet red. He was like, I would love for you to do that to him again. And then I ended up seeing him again the next day.
That's great.
And he walks by and he's like, good to see you again. I was like, hey. So much fun. I loved it.
I
love sitting at the red lights too. Like we're going to dinner.
I saw.
Like, I know him.
I saw Dirthead Dave from. Oh yeah, like when you terrified me when you came running and beating on the window.
You don't have to tell on me. So I knew she was going to be in town. And
yeah. So.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we were sitting at a red light. I was passenger princess in Micah's Jeep, and I was doing something. I was on my phone, like answering an email or something, not paying attention. And the next thing I know, some crazy person is jumping out into traffic, beating on the window, terrifying me.
My God.
And it's yeah, it's Cassie.
Hey, Looney, how you doing?
Good times.
You weren't the only one scared.
So, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all.
I got Reggie too. She came up to the red light, and I was standing on the curb of the street. Reg! And she's like, Cass!
I love Reggie. She's such a hoot. One of my favorite people.
Yes.
So, are you hooked with EJS? Or are you going to go back?
Oh yeah, we're hooked. We're hooked. Now that we barely made it home, but yes.
Well, hopefully, I mean, but let's talk about that. You had some issues, but your Jeep drove you home still. You wheeled the heck out of it, had some issues, and it still got you home through a winter storm at that.
Yeah, through a winter storm. So we had some issues. Apparently I got some gears that are a little less than properly installed. So we had a little whir on my backlash. So we went by the BFG garage. Thank you to them. That was amazing. You can just roll up in there, tell them what your problem is. They take you for a little ride. You come back, they help you with your problem. They fix you up and get you back on the road. He even told me, like, hey, if you would have came up 3 days earlier, I could have re-geared your Jeep for you. And I was like, man. So they threw some heavyweight oil in there. I made it home. We're going to get it looked at probably this week, hopefully. But yeah, we hit a storm in New Mexico on our way home. Thankfully, our friends were in front of us. They were pulling their Jeep on a trailer, unfortunately. They were in the very front, and then my husband was behind them, and then I was behind Dane. And his wife called Dane and was like, hey, the visibility just went to absolutely zero up here. And there was people jumping out of their cars, jumping in the median, waving us down, saying, hurry, stop, 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 like screaming and waving. And so they hit the shoulder to not get involved. And then Dane called me, and at the second that he said, hey, they said, it looks like there's a car accident up here. People are saying, slow down, slow down, slow down. My visibility went to zero. I hit the exit ramp, and we got to the top of the exit ramp and looked down at the road, and there was a 15-car pileup on the highway that we missed by just barely. So we had angels flying before us or something, because man, the
Yeah,
cop that we talked
scary.
to on the exit ramp said that it was going to be at least 10 hours to get everything all cleared up. The ambulances, the tow trucks. I mean, it was a mess. So we ended up getting our Jeeps turned around and back up. Thankfully, we were a little bit more capable in that situation. We got Charles's Jeep. We had to lead him between some trucks and through an intersection to get him back going. So we ended up spending the night on Route 66 at a little roadside motel that apparently they filmed a movie called Hell or High Water at. So that was an experience, but we made it home.
It sounds like an experience.
It
I know lots of our Texas friends had experiences like that on the road
Oh
on the
yeah,
way home.
we were texting and
Thankfully,
calling
you
the
had
people behind us like, please don't go this way. No, it was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you text me and Mike texted me and a couple other people, and thankfully we were able to stop before the weather got bad and just kind of waited out overnight. So
Yeah, I'm glad.
So now that we know that you're an EJS fan for life, one of my last questions
Uh-oh.
is what events that you haven't gone to, what's on your bucket list?
I think I need to do a trail hero for sure. I
Yes.
also, so going through the, what trail were we on? That there was like a sand hill. I'm sitting here thinking that maybe I would do really good with some desert racing. Oh gosh. What is the name of
Not
that
in your
event?
Jeep, I hope. Not in
Not
your
in
Jeep.
mine. Let's build another one. But there's what is it? What's the one that they do in the desert? I just went completely blank.
King of the
My
Hammers?
brain. Yes! Oh my gosh. So we were like barreling through the sand. And so like I threw it down and I'm like, all right, I like this. I'm hitting bank after bank after bank. I'm like, I think I could do some King of Hammers. And I'm on the radio going, hey guys, I think we need to build me a King of Hammers vehicle because I got this.
Oh my
I think that would
goodness.
be my jam.
I mean, you like the throttle, so I feel that for you. I
I
feel
think I
that
could
for
do
you.
that. We could combine Jeeps and racing.
Yeah. That sounds like a very expensive hobby, Cassie.
That does. Maybe I need to get some kids out of the house first.
Maybe. So tell our listeners, I know that you're on social media. Tell everybody where they can find you on Instagram, TikTok, whatever platforms you want to share. Where can our folks find you if they want to follow along with your adventures?
Castle_JLU is Instagram. It's also the same on Facebook. I don't really post a whole lot on TikTok. I have a couple of things on there, but Instagram's enough, y'all. It's a lot to keep up with.
I know that's right. Yes. And what events will you be wheeling this year if somebody wants to catch you on the trail? Where will you be?
Well, we've got a kid that is going off to the Air Force in 2 weeks. So I may be slowed down for a little bit until we get a graduation date on that kiddo. So for sure, we're going to go to the Rock Crawler and Dirt Road Coalition event at Wolf Caves in Countempsey in November. Between now and then, it's kind of, we're playing it by ear till we figure out like when the kiddo is going to graduate from BMT and tech school and all that fun stuff for the Air Force. So we're just kind of playing it by ear right now, unfortunately. I guess, or fortunately. Should
Hey,
I
I
not
get
say
it. And I'm sure,
unfortunately?
yeah, probably fortunately, but
Fortunately.
I'm sure if you keep your social media updated, so if somebody's interested in hitting the trails with you, they can just catch you over on Instagram and
Oh, yeah.
see what fun things you have in the mix.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we're always going somewhere. We always plan a last minute trip, so there's no telling where I'm going to pop up. I mean, we're 3.5 hours from Hot Springs. We're 6 hours from Hidden Falls. I'm down. Like, send me a message. We'll go. I'll make it happen.
Right?
Yeah.
I know this about you, Cassie. That's why I love you.
Yes, I'm down. Just call. We'll go.
You're not a bad influence at all.
No. I think you need to buy those things. Did you know that Dana's Sponsors got a buy one get one half off on axles right now?
Oh, I did not.
Oh.
Cassie's a bad influence on the pocketbook.
I mean,
But- But good for Jeep. So this is why you should go follow Cassie online so that she can give you advice on how to spend money on your Jeep.
Yes, I'll help you. Let me spend your money for you. Let me give you a bill list.
Right?
I always told Dana, I was like, I think that would be the most fun job. If I could have like a dream job for me, I think it would be like a Jeep consultant. Like somebody would come to me and be like, hey, this is the kind of thing that I want. I'd be like, okay, let me make you a list. But then also, I need my own stuff purchased as well. So. I got to get off these 30-35s, man.
Right? Spending somebody else's money always seems like a good idea.
It's way more fun. I can spend everybody else's money all day long.
I know.
And
it goes quick with Jeeps.
Yes, it does. Gosh.
It's an expensive habit. Just empty every pocket. And they live up to that for sure.
It really is. Okay. While I was having my gear issue, we were talking to the guys at the Dana booth at the vendor show going, would it be cheaper? Should I just go for it? You know? It's like, I think it's like $9,000 right now. And so the guys are trying to talk me into just, you could just go ahead and sell your axles and you could recoup some of that cost. Why don't you just go for it? So they're not good influences either, but it's okay. The closer to 30 as we get, the better.
Hey, I bought my axles off Marketplace, both of them.
I mean, I've been looking
till they were ready to go on, but I paid $500 for one, $100 for the other.
Oh man, dang! See, there's nothing like that around here. We do not have those deals. I don't know I don't know. Everybody wants to sell their shoes for $500 on our marketplace. They don't want to sell the good stuff.
You can get shoes, but no axles in Longview. I guess.
You need to move. Get on. If you see something, send it to me. Because we had talked about for the longest time, I was like, I think I probably just want to go ahead and build like junkyard tons or something. But by the time you put all the money into that, it's almost cheaper just to buy it put together already. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's hope you're not forced into that too soon.
But if I am.
I already know, girl. I already know.
It's okay.
All right. Well, that's it. That's it for this episode of Chic Chat. And we hope you've been inspired by the stories, insight, and tips shared today and Cassie shenanigans. So be sure you go catch her online. Remember that there's no limits to what you can achieve when you embrace your passion and fearlessly chase your dreams. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to the Jeep Talk Show so you never miss an episode. And remember to embrace the thrill of the off-road, embody your own unique style, and always keep pushing the boundaries of what you thought possible, because anything is possible.
Broadcasting since 2010.
You're my friend. You're my new friend.